First at noon, King Charles's younger brother, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, was arrested this morning in connection with his ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstien. Now, the former prince has been released from custody but remains under investigation. Tina Kraus is outside Buckingham Palace with the latest.
Cameras caught a glimpse of former Prince Andrew leaving the police station Thursday nearly 12 hours after he was arrested at his family's royal estate on suspicion of misconduct in public office in connection to his relationship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstien.
I think it was always inevitable that Andrew was going to be questioned by the police, but let's not mistake this. The arrest of a senior is the first time that a senior member of the royal family has been arrested like this.
Investigators are looking into whether Andrew shared confidential government information with the disgraced financier during the royals' time as a British trade envoy. While King Charles stripped Andrew of his titles last year because of the Epstein scandal, Andrew has long denied any wrongdoing. Do you think he should have been arrested?
Yes, I think so. I think there's obviously something really wrong that's happened.
The family of Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide after accusing the then prince of abuse, called Thursday's arrest a victory.
This is just such a win for Virginia and for all survivors out there, truly.
In a statement, King Charles said the royal family will cooperate with investigators, writing in part, "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." The former prince was once second in line to the British throne. It's not yet clear how his arrest will affect the royal family going forward.
If evidence was to appear that showed other royals somehow in cahoots with him, then that's a completely different kettle of fish. But at the moment, it's one stinky fish.
The king carried on business as usual, taking a front row seat at a London fashion show just hours after his younger brother's arrest. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Here on Oahu, Honolulu police are looking for two men accused of holding a man at gunpoint and stealing his car in Waianae just after 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. HPD says officers recovered the stolen Mercedes work van, a white utility truck, and a firearm on Waianae Valley Road shortly after the robbery. The 32-year-old woman has been arrested in connection with the crime. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the male suspects is asked to call Crime Stoppers or 911. Meanwhile, a suspect is in police custody accused of shooting two men in Kapolei Sunday night. The 19-year-old man faces charges of attempted murder and firearms offenses. We're not naming the suspect at this time as he has not been charged yet. Police say he approached and shot the men while they were sitting in a rental car in the Taco Bell parking lot. One of the victims was last reported in critical condition. Now, the other man was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police also arrested a 16-year-old girl who they say was with the suspected gunmen. She faces charges for unlawfully carrying a firearm. The medical examiner has identified a man stabbed to death in Wahiawa last Friday as Christian Ka'ainoa Kealohi of Aiea. The 31-year-old was found unconscious with multiple stab wounds after crashing his car in a Walgreens parking lot. Police are still looking for his killer. Call Crime Stoppers with any tips. And police on Hawaii Island are searching for 3 people considered armed and dangerous. No details about their suspected crimes were revealed, but police say you should stay away from them. Robert James Tenauri Carmen, John Thomas Broadfoot Jr., and Nicole Arsenault are all wanted on active arrest warrants. They were last seen at around noon on Wednesday in Kailua Kona in a blue Nissan sedan near the Kaloko Light Industrial Area. If you see them, please call 911.
Here's what we are tracking for you as far as your first alert weather is concerned. Gusty winds, and that'll be what we'll have throughout the morning. But here's we go into the afternoon hours, you'll notice that they'll start to weaken. We'll get some more rain when we're coming up tomorrow through Monday and during the weekend, and a high surf advisory in the east-facing shorelines of all Hawaiian Islands. We're going to go dive deeper into this coming up in about 10 minutes from now, right here on This Is Now.
Thank you, Billy. Emergency planners say none of Oahu's storm shelters is built to withstand more than a Category 2 hurricane. But several new bills would strengthen Hawaii's defenses, including one requiring new state buildings to handle a Cat 5 storm. Ben Gutierrez has a closer look.
Dolan Middle School in Kalihi Valley is one of 38 potential hurricane refuge areas on the island of Oahu. However, it, like the 37 others, isn't built to withstand the strongest hurricanes. And that's a problem on islands where many of the homes are made out of wood.
We've got 187,000 wooden homes, and many thousands of those are single wall construction, and we have no place to go.
Longtime community activist Keone Dudley has been sounding the alarm about a lack of emergency shelters as climate change produces stronger storms.
180 to 200 mile an hour winds. If we get that, we're just going to have thousands upon thousands dead.
Dudley helped to write 3 bills at the legislature this year, including one that would require new state buildings to withstand a Category 5 hurricane so they can be used as shelters.
Our hope is that we can continue to improve the quality of buildings that are being constructed, look for opportunities to retrofit, but I can tell you that there's no magic bullet for this problem.
That's because construction and renovations are expensive. The State Department of Accounting and General Services says some new buildings already in the design phase may not have enough funds appropriated to meet the proposed standards, while the DOE wants a cost and feasibility study. Another measure does give an incentive for homeowners to retrofit to withstand a Cat 5 hurricane.
And we'd give people a 50% tax break for all of their expenses. We give apartment buildings, condominium buildings, the same kind of tax break for fortifying condos.
We do have a lot of aging communities. So I think that's part of the consideration we have to make. How do we put together a program that makes sense, but also encourages people to harden their homes?
Those measures have moved forward. Just days after strong winds with gusts near 70 miles per hour, less than hurricane strength, caused damage around the state.
I think we also focus on the big Cat 5 storms, and the reality was we saw something that wasn't even yet quite hurricane force winds. Imagine that island-wide, sustained in a Category 1 or Category 2 storm.
Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
4 years after the mayor decided to end the rail line in Kaka'ako, the city council has cleared the way to study an extension potentially to UH Manoa. The council passed Bill 60, giving the rail authority permission to explore the possibility of building 3.2 more miles of rail line to Ala Moana Center and the UH Manoa campus. Rail critics, including the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii, are opposed, noting the project has run $5 billion over budget and at least a decade behind schedule.
Quite frankly, I think if you guys bifurcated it and did the west side first, I probably wouldn't have a problem. I do have a problem of trying to extend it beyond Ala Moana when we haven't even reached the Civic Center or Ala Moana.
We're talking about a lot of taxpayer money, including general excise tax revenues paid for by our residents and small businesses.
Gitalba is the lone council member who voted against the extension. The Civic Center station isn't expected to open for 5 more years. There's a new push to get the governor to remove State Attorney General Ann Lopez from the investigation into a bribery case involving a state lawmaker. Chief investigative reporter Lynn Kawano explains why critics insist there needs to be an independent prosecutor.
The letter from the lawmakers, both attorneys, was hand-delivered to the governor's office.
Republican Representative Kanani Souza dropped off a new letter to Governor Josh Green's staff Wednesday. Souza and Democrat Della Abalati have been outspoken about the process so far. They now want Green to exercise his authority to direct the Attorney General, Ann Lopez, to appoint an independent prosecutor to investigate the $35,000 exchange between an influential lawmaker and the lobbyist in 2022. Last week, the lieutenant governor came forward saying she has ties to the case, but insists
insists she did nothing wrong.
It's too close to home. We need an independent investigation so that at the end of this, we can trust in the results and we can trust in that final determination.
The letter also states they want to meet with the governor to discuss how this can be done without interfering with the already ongoing investigations that have been initiated by Lopez and her Special Investigation and Prosecution Division, or SIPD. The letter cites statements made by Alexander Silvert, a former defense attorney who exposed the case with a petition last October. Silvert points out that Attorney General Lopez initially declined to take the case, but changed her position months later. That delay, he says, could have a big political impact.
Because we are running up against statute of limitations, and session began in January and ends in May, with elections coming up in August, with filing deadlines in June.
Lopez said in a press conference last Friday that the use of SIPD clears her of conflicts.
Is staffed with top prosecutors, experienced investigators, and analysts. They are charged with investigating public corruption.
Lopez also said the unit is already nearly a month into the criminal case, and the launch was delayed because the federal prosecutor only recently turned over the evidence that sent former lawmakers Kalani English and Ty Cullen to federal prison for bribery. The search for a third lawmaker only surfaced after Silvert's petition. Former Rep. Ty Cullen was interviewed by the Attorney General's investigative unit. Sources say he went without a subpoena. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
Authorities investigating the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie are turning to counterparts south of the border for help and say the suspect caught on the camera may not have acted alone. Andres Gutierrez reports from Tucson.
CBS News has learned the FBI reached out to the Mexican government and law enforcement in the search for Nancy Guthrie. But experts caution that does not necessarily mean the 84-year-old was taken across the border.
Quite frankly, it's from what I've gathered, I think they're still keying on somebody local.
The mother of the Today Show co-host vanished from her Tucson home 19 days ago. Savannah Guthrie made another appeal on social media earlier this week.
And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is, that it's never too late.
With the family cleared and so far no hits on the DNA collected, this footage from Guthrie's doorbell camera is the only direct link to a suspect. The Pima County Sheriff says Google is working to recover video from other cameras on the property.
In the fact that there's so much technology out there, it becomes, you have to, one, be careful of the legalities of that technology and how you're using it.
The sheriff's office has not ruled out the possibility of an accomplice as it sorts through tens of thousands of calls from the public. Many of those calls are not actionable leads.
There are plenty of people calling in about the same thoughts or theories, so those are typically the type of things that we don't want to hear about.
The FBI hopes the $100,000 reward for information on Guthrie's whereabouts will generate a tip that breaks the case wide open. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
President Trump weighs possible military action against Iran. I'm Erica Brown with more from the president on a timeline and reaction from Capitol Hill.
Also ahead on This Is Now, state lawmakers move to protect a homeowner's right to fly a Hawaiian flag. We'll be right back. President Trump has given a timeline for Iran to reach a deal to end its nuclear program. It also gives the U.S. forces more time to steam towards the Middle East. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is weighing action against Iran if no deal is reached to curb the country's nuclear program.
We may have to take it a step further, or we may not. Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
CBS News has learned national security officials have presented the president with military options for strikes against Iran. And the president has ordered a buildup of U.S. forces in the region, including the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford. It comes as Iran is carrying out joint military exercises with Russian forces in the region.
We're either going to get a deal or it's going to be unfortunate for them.
Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna and Republican Congressman Thomas Massie plan to force a vote as soon as next week on a war powers resolution requiring congressional approval before any military action against Iran. President Trump also announced the U.S. will contribute $10 billion to the Board of Peace as he hosted its first meeting in Washington Thursday. The board was created as part of the brokered peace deal between Israel and Hamas.
We have to get this right. There is no plan B for Gaza. Plan B is going back to war. No one here wants that.
The president signed fundraising pledges totaling about $7 billion from member states to help with humanitarian aid and reconstruction in Gaza. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Here at home, after the Hawaiian flag was banned in a Leeward Oahu community, lawmakers want to stop that from happening again. A'ali Iduklo tells us about their proposal.
Senate Bill 2795 would require residential associations to allow homeowners to display the Hawaiian flag within their property. The measure also notes because federal law protects the right to fly the United States flag, the Hawaiian flag should also have similar protections.
The flag stands for much more than just the state of Hawaii.
There's a storied history behind Kahai Hawaii, the Hawaiian flag. UH Manoa professor Kaipulau Makani Olono Keala says Kamehameha Ekahi, the first, created the banner in 1816 to protect the then Kingdom of Hawaii so the islands could trade sandalwood internationally.
It has its roots in the people who made Hawaii, Hawaii first. And that's what the flag is about.
The red, white, and blue banner included the Union Jack, representing the close political ties between Hawaii and Great Britain.
Today represents the resilience of the Hawaiian people and the resilience of the vision of what is Hawaii.
But last year, the Ewa by Gentry Community Association demanded one of its residents remove her Hai Hawaii from her home, stating its guidelines only allowed residents to display the American flag.
That just eliminates so much of what makes Hawaii, Hawaii.
The association has since revised its flag policy to allow Kahai Hawaii. We're waiting for comment from the group on SB 2795. Meantime, Native Hawaiians are applauding the proposed protection for the Hawaiian flag, especially as this month is Mahina Olelo Hawaii, Hawaiian Language Month.
I think of a Olelo no Eo from a Old New Pepa that says, He hai ho'ailona keia no ka holomua ka maluhia ka lokahi a me ke aloha.
That translates to, the flag is a symbol of progress, of peace, of unity, and of aloha.
I think that is a reflection of our people, a reflection of our values that we try to perpetuate from our kupuna that were instilled to us from our kupuna and how we carried it on to today.
The Senate Committee on Hawaiian Affairs advanced the bill earlier this month and referred it to the Ways and Means Committee. A'ali Iduklo, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, A'a. All right, everyone, let's take a live look outside with our tower cam looking at Honolulu Harbor. A little overcast today, and we could be seeing some more wet weather coming through this weekend. Billy V is going to have your full forecast coming up in 2 minutes, but first this.
Coming up today at 12:30, it's Billy V Live. I'm going to be sitting down with Cerise Marchand, who comes from Hawaii. She was in the middle of the chaos of the Super Bowl halftime show. Mike Talba is going to stop by, and he's got great music for us. A little bit of a music preview, and a little bit of talk story with our Hawaii recording artist. That and much, much more. Catch Billy V Live on the Hawaii News Now streaming app, available on Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire.
Alert Weather with Billy V.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and dive deeper into your first alert weather. First of all, high surf advisory in effect. That's going to be until 6 p.m. tonight, according to the National Weather Service. 8 to 12 foot surf. A lot of that is wind driven, so you got a wind swell here for the east facing shorelines. Everything else is smaller than that, 3 to 5 over on the north shore. Town spots are enjoying at 2 to 4 feet. Here, as we go through the afternoon and into the evening, here's what you can expect as far as your winds are concerned. That's going to be coming up 7 o'clock tonight. You still see that we're in the double digits. As we go forward into the weekend, Friday into Saturday, you'll notice that the winds will start to weaken. We'll get to single digits in a lot of places. When we get to Saturday morning, coming up on sunrise, we'll be telling you about the lighter winds with the rain that's going to be coming. So that may pose some problems. So we get easterly winds 15 to 25 miles per hour today. Once again, they weaken as we go into the afternoon hours. Easterly winds 10 to 25. They weaken on Saturday going into Sunday. Northeasterly winds. So this is the period that we're worried about here, but with the wind, we've got it all highlighted for the next 4 days or so. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there could be another system coming up next weekend. But we're concentrating on this week, and that's your 7-day forecast here on Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Billy. Still to come, robots help ring in the Lunar New Year in China. We'll take you through the festivities in 2 minutes. Take you live to Italy for a look at the Olympic flame in Milan. Stay with KHNL for all your Olympics coverage. Today's events include hockey, curling, and figure skating. And let's take a look at the latest medal count that's changing by the minute. Norway still leads the pack with 34 total medals. They also have the most gold medals so far with 16. Followed by the U.S. with 27 total medals right now. The U.S. women's hockey team just won gold about an hour ago, and figure skater Alyssa Liu just took the gold with her final program moments ago. So now the U.S. has 9 gold medals. And Snoop isn't the only dog at the Winter Games. Check out what happened during a women's cross-country skiing qualifying event on Wednesday. Down the home stretch, a dog came out of nowhere and joined the competitors as they crossed the finish line. According to NPR, the pup is a Czechoslovakian wolf dog named Nazgul. Now, he belongs to one of the event officials and is well known in the area. And apparently he got out of the house from a nearby B&B and decided to join his owner. His appearance delighted fans, and the racers say they weren't bothered by his appearance. He was chasing one of the cameras that was going up and down the finish line. Nazgul's participation didn't impact the event's results. And check this out, a trio of humanoid robots is bringing Lunar New Year cheer to shoppers at a Beijing mall. There's no shortage of New Year performances across China as the country celebrates the Spring Festival, but this year robot shows have emerged as a new trend. This collaboration delighted the crowd with synchronized dance moves to hip-hop songs at the Spring Festival Temple Fair event. They also did some traditional line dances. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. This is Now. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL. We'll see you then.